Welcome to Seattle Public Utilities Ask Evelyn Live, where we answer your questions about recycling, compost, garbage, and other trashy topics. I'm your host, Becca Fong, and this week's episode, choosing to refill and reuse while avoiding a little extra waste when those snack attacks hit. So, sun is out and the temperature is rising, folks, I promise. And with all of us on the go to grab as much vitamin D and as many BTUs as possible while they're out there to be gotten, convenience is king. So this month, we're going to be answering questions from you guys about how to sort on the go, avoid as much waste as possible without sacrificing some of that convenience. Here to join us. Hey, Pat.
Hey, Becca, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Good to be here.
Yeah, it was awesome to see you chatting with Gina. I learned a lot about the tool libraries last
Tool
week.
libraries. Got to get going on the tool libraries, people. It's good stuff.
Cool. I know.
All right.
So, we're all about life on the go this time.
We are. We're reuse. We're picnicking. We're potlucking. We're on the go. Everybody's doing it. Everybody, so let's get going on it.
Absolutely. All right. So what's our question this week?
Okay. Question comes into the Ask Evelyn inbox. Hi, Evelyn. I recently went to a potluck. And as we were cleaning up, I noticed almost everything went into the trash. Chip bags, deli containers, even pop bottles and paper plates. Aren't all of these things recyclable? Thanks, Stefan. Quick answer for Stefan?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, but quick answers. So chip bags and wrappers, unfortunately, those aren't recyclable. You know, plastic bottles, though, those are good. Those are fully recyclable, even with the caps on.
Absolutely.
And as for some of the other things, the paper plates, those are kind of a little middle ground. So I think we're going to have to get into the details to unpack that a little bit.
Well, I'll jump into that real quick. So
okay.
I've got a couple products here, and we've highlighted these before on the show, but I'll show you again. And I know this is backwards for folks on show, but you know what? You can get the idea. This is a popular brand of paper plates. And you can't really see the lettering, but they are compostable.
Oh, yeah.
So not all of them are, though. There's multiple brands, and whenever you see a plate that has printing on it like this, you really have to double check and be sure, because a lot of the printed versions actually have a plastic coating to them to keep the inks in and such. So this one has a special kind of coating that's compostable. These are approved compostable. And then, of course, the best way to go, though, and the most surefire way, is to go ahead and get like paper plates, like just good old fiber paper plates that are definitely compostable because there's no printing and no coatings on them at all. So then the best way, which I don't have any right here, is just to get yourself a stack of plastic, rigid, reusable plates.
Totally.
Bring those to your potluck and just reuse them. Even ceramic plates, they're a little heavy to lug around, but still,
that's true.
Go with the reusable. That's the best for your plates.
Absolutely. I will totally tell on myself a little bit about being like that person at the potluck where we had the standard paper plates with the plastic liner on the front. And we just had hamburgers on them. And so there was like a little bit of like crumbs and ketchup. And I took a napkin and wiped it off clean.
Yeah.
And then composted the napkin and took the paper plate and put it in the recycling. And my host was like, you can do that? I was like, empty, clean, and dry. Those are your rules. And she was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, because these plates, there's a lot of fiber in these plates. Really, it's a paperboard product. It's not like a thin sheet of paper. And so that's a good idea, regardless of whether they're compostable or recyclable. If they're clean, they're recyclable.
Totally. So one thing, Stefan, your question about like chip bags. So we do get this question a lot. So I'm really glad that you wrote to us because it's summertime. Like people are grabbing all this stuff all the time. So Pat, what's the deal with these? They're not recyclable.
Yeah, they're multiple layer. They're multi-layer products. They do printing layers, they do packaging layers, they do, air sealant layers. So yeah, you're just, even the paper ones, like you see some of the products will have a paper outer layer for the feel of the bag. Yep. We get some tortilla chips that are like that sometimes. And those are also not recyclable, even though they're paper on the outside. They're plastic or other multiple layers can be involved in the packaging. So pretty much any chip bags or any bags that are inside, like a box of crackers or something, all that bag type substrate is not recyclable. There are some types of bags for some products where you'll read the label on there, the how to recycle label. It will say bags recyclable in store drop-off only.
Right.
So you can see that, and in which case you want to make sure to rinse them out to make sure they're dry, and then combine them with your other plastic film recycling, which are store drop-off, not blue cart.
Yes, no. Any flexible plastics don't go into your recycle cart for sure. So, I mean, there is all that. Potlucks are happening, right? So, Stefan, it sounds like, all that stuff, people are just bringing stuff. They're kind of thinking one way. And we've talked about this a little bit before. So, one really good trick I like is I will bring like, my salad or something in a big
Sure.
container like this, right? And so I brought it to the potluck. People eat it. I'm happy to bring it home even if it's empty, right? Because I've already brought it there. Same thing if you're going to a park or a picnic. I've already brought it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't feel super convenient, but the bonus that you guys who watch the show is that now that it's empty, when there's extra food to be taken home, you can just go ahead and put that right in here.
Well, we're talking to a next level potlucker here, Becca. She does not miss an opportunity for food.
I'm not.
I love that you bring your salad in the big container, but you also want to bring maybe a smaller container with you to take a whole nother. Like you had your plate of food, you did the potluck thing, which is my favorite. Potlucks are my favorite.
Oh yeah.
But you look at the table afterwards. Everybody's had their fill. Go down the line again and get yourself tomorrow's lunch or tomorrow's dinner or whatever. People should be cool with that. I think it's totally acceptable. I don't want to bring home half of my potato salad because I can have potato salad, the next day, and then maybe the next evening, and the next day after that, maybe. But sometimes there's a lot to go through of one menu item, and if you were to bring home like a couple potluck bowls, you're going to go through that.
I mean, Pat, like I want some of your potato salad. You don't want to eat it for 3 days, but maybe I want to eat it for one more. So,
that's what I'm saying.
There we go. One of the other ones I was thinking of for reuse is that this is from, a Thai food container.
Oh, yeah.
Container. I know a lot of businesses you work with will use some of these. And while you can't bring them back for reuse at the restaurant, I run this through the dishwasher, and this is a perfectly good container to bring, and it can hold a portion of food that's large enough to bring to a potluck. So, another really good avenue for reuse.
Absolutely. Single-use containers that are manufactured as such and provided to food service businesses, they are much more durable than single-use performance. You could use them over and over again. There's a point where you're going to want to just recycle it because you've run it through your wash so many times that it's not engineered for multiple use or dishwashing. So you just want to be thoughtful on that. Some of these containers that are marketed as reusable, they are marked for dishwasher safe, on there.
For sure. That's a good call.
Yeah.
The chips did make me think though. So this is a bag that's like an inner liner. It's pretty big and had goldfish in it. And a lot of times, at a potluck, or when you're at your house, they kind of these things are right? Like they fall all apart.
Right.
So my one kind of interesting hack that it made me think of is that I reuse this container and I put them in here so they don't get stale.
Oh, sure.
And it's nice.
Like a reusable.
Like sometimes I'll bring this to if I'm hanging out with a bunch of kids at the park or something, and they'll eat. Hopefully they don't eat all this goldfish, but it's possible. It's been known to happen. If with enough children, they will eat this many goldfish in one sitting. But then you have another reusable container, which is another really nice thing to have.
I like that. Nice little dispenser. You can see what the product is in there. That's a good, pantry snack item to share. Yeah, we've had to do like the double clip, on the, they tear the bag open too far, and then you're having to add closures in multiple points around the bag in case someone comes at it from the wrong side.
I know, if it happened to be not opened very carefully.
Right. Some of the kids, some of the adults are like that. It's just, you gotta.
It's true. It happens. Not all bags are.
But I mean, in the vein of like food waste prevention, it's important to be thoughtful about how you open your chip bags and your cereal bags and all those things that they can have a tendency to just tear open and then it's toast. But if you can just get it to where you can roll it back up and clip it, it's not going to go stale, not anytime soon anyway. So yeah.
One other thing, Stefan, that could be an interesting thing for potlucks, even, we're all about reuse, and sometimes you don't want things to be, you don't want to bring something there and then bring it back, right? So with that, a really good thing to do, say you're at the store, you're picking something up, look for something that's in fully recyclable packaging. So that really helps as well. Like all chips, those bags are going to be garbage, but sometimes things come in another container that can be recycled. So Pat, do you have some show?
I have one example. Now you look at this and think, oh, that's a plastic windowed cardboard thing. This is cherry tomatoes. A lot of cherry tomatoes come in those plastic containers now, the plastic dome things. But this is an all compostable. It's actually a compostable window made from cornstarch. So it's a cool product. It's Del Cabo is the brand. I mean, it's just
Okay.
a nice little, but so this is a recyclable, the cardboard would be, and then it's a fully compostable with the cornstarch based film material in
Cool.
there. So you know, just thinking about that, like those little baskets, although they're very cute, they're not recyclable in our system. Right. The cardboard cartons for the berries and stuff, those like blue or green cardboard trays for the berries, those are fully compostable. Those are great, like an egg carton, you know, it's a low grade fiber product. But really in the produce department, it used to be just be, you know, produce, and now everything, there's a lot of packaging involved in produce. So like I encourage, we try to buy, we like the size of the apples that come in the bag, but I don't like those crunchy loud bags that the apples come in. So we just buy our apples individually, you know. And so there's just thoughts like that, like trying, you know, if you're going to buy a product either for your potluck or your picnic or just for home, trying to buy things that are in packaging that you know are recyclable or compostable, or no packaging at all.
Absolutely. I mean, just kind of thinking it all the way through to the end of the life. But you know, we understand, folks, like these are just some tips and tricks, Stefan, that hopefully clear up your confusion about sorting. But also if it works for you, great. You know, if you can reuse it, great. If you can find packaging that is recyclable or compostable, definitely choose that. So Pat, one really cool thing happened. I don't know if you have a moment to talk to us about, you guys are launching a reusable cup pilot.
It was, yeah, Reuse Seattle, which is this new partnership group of folks, or organizations, agencies, and companies that are coming together to try and help create more opportunities for systems reuse. You know, the personal container option has been around for a long time, and we continue to do that. But these little guys here, these are cups that are being used at music venues by a company called Our Cup. And these guys are doing reusable cups for beer and wine sales at music venues.
Cool.
And it's the first phase of full systems reuse in Seattle. We'll start to see it more often, I think, in other venues as well. But it's a great opportunity because in these music venues, you know, you can't leave with your beverage of beer or wine. You're not allowed to leave with that. So it's a good venue to do a capture of these. These are not souvenir cups. They're not to be taken home by folks. They stay at the venue. They're collected. They're taken off to the wash hub where they all go through a sanitizing wash system, and they come back for the next show. So this is hopefully folks will see these more often and place the cup in the appropriate return bin.
Cool. Yeah. That's awesome. So if you guys encounter those, make sure to look for the return bin, and then you get to use it at your next show. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Stefan, great question this week. And we hope that you guys all learned a few little tidbits about how to cut down your waste when you're going to potlucks. And remember, no shame in bringing your own container, right? That cuts down on food waste, people. That's another way to help. So make sure that you guys, you know, this show runs on your questions. So make sure that you guys keep them coming. You can send them to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or you can send us an email at askevelyn@seattle.gov. And with that, I'm Becca Fong, and life's simpler with less stuff.
And I'm Pat Kaufman. Remember to recycle right. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.